Hi, my name is G. In this video, we're going to cover how to make a new workbench using OSE Workbench Platform. This video will be the first in a series covering how to create a fictitious example OSE workbench, which will look something like this. So if I go here, OSE example workbench, you'll see that I have two buttons on the toolbar, one to create a hexagonal nut, and another to create a corresponding bolt. So this fictitious example workbench will focus on fasteners, which could include nuts, bolts, but as well as screws. And the hope is that this example is simple enough to be comprehensible, yet complicated and real and practical enough to be interesting. So let's go ahead and go to the OSE Workbench Platform README via the GitHub repository. A link to this is going to be included in the description of the video. I'll scroll down, and I'm going to assume that you already saw the corresponding videos to get set up with the prerequisites as well as how to install the platform. Links to those will also be included in the description below. And one final note about Conda: if you're still feeling confused about what Conda is, why we're using it, or you're just feeling like you're missing some high-level information on it, I encourage you to read this section titled Virtual Development Environment in the README, as well as there's a link to go to the Conda documentation that talks about what Conda is at a high level. There's an excellent user guide covering various Conda concepts such as what a package is, a channel, or an environment, and more information about how to manage those environments and everything else you could possibly want to know. It's very well documented, so I encourage you to explore and read it at your own leisure. So, without further ado, let's hop over to our terminal. And the first thing I'll do is use Conda to activate our new OSEWB Conda environment. So I'll type Conda activate the name of the environment, which is OSEWB, and now I have access to the OSEWB or OSE Workbench command, which I can test by typing OSEWB-H, which lists all of the various commands that I have available to me. And the one that we're going to take a closer look at today is the make command, which is for making new code. If I want to know how to use the make command, I'll type OSEWB make and similarly pass the -H or help flag. I can see that the make command similarly takes commands which are listed here. The one that we're going to use today is the workbench command. I don't know how to use that one, so I'll type OSEWB make workbench and -H for help. And OSEWB make workbench takes the machine display name, which is the name of the machine in title case, and typically OSE workbenches will be focused on one machine in the Global Village construction set, such as the compressed earth brick press or tractor, 3D printer, or power cube. I'll want to make this as human readable as possible and include spaces where appropriate. If the name of the machine does include spaces, then I'll want to surround it in double quotes like we're seeing here. And again, it's in title case, so you're going to want to probably capitalize each word that you see here. So our fictitious example workbench is going to be centered around fasteners, so I'll name it fastener. Notice this is in the singular form. I'll type OSEWB make workbench fastener. Now see that the workbench has been initialized in the OSE fastener workbench directory. I'll type ls, and we see OSE workbench or OSE fastener workbench there's a directory there. And the platform is helpful, and it's going to tell us which commands we can execute to go ahead and get started. The first thing that we'll do is cd or change directories into our newly created OSE Fastener Workbench directory, and we're going to initialize the Git repository with git init. So I'll go ahead and copy and paste this command. The next thing we're going to do is create a dedicated conda environment for our new Fastener Workbench. And this is an important concept. So each workbench will have its own dedicated conda environment. And the reason for that is that each workbench can be on different versions of the platform at any one time. So you could have the 3D printer workbench be on version 010 of the platform, and maybe the tractor workbench, they're trailblazers, and so they want to upgrade to version 020 of the platform, and that way having dedicated conda environments allows everyone to be on separate versions of the platform at any one time and upgrade and migrate at their own leisure. So this command will tell us how to create that dedicated conda environment, and we'll also see that it's a compound command and it's going to activate this new environment. We'll see that we're creating this from the environment.yaml file, so let's take a quick look at what that is. So the environment.yaml file is just a description of how to create a conda environment, and it tells us the name of the environment, so it's going to be OSE Fastener, all one word, lowercase, singular. The channels to search for packages, which is CondaForge and GBRocus, as well as the dependencies to install, which is OSE Workbench Platform, and the version, which is 010. So I'm going to copy and paste this command, and then I'm going to fast forward the video because this is going to take a bit, and I'll see you in a few. Okay, I'm back, and we've successfully created our new OSE Fastener conda environment for our new Fastener Workbench. We've activated that environment, and I can tell because my terminal is telling me I'm in the OSE Fastener environment. And the third and last instruction that the make command told me to do was to verify my installation by running osewb-help or -h one more time, and that works successfully, so that's good. The last thing that I'm going to show you is we've created our new workbench, but now how do we actually run this with FreeCAD so we can actually do something with it? So now that I'm in this dedicated OSE Fastener environment, I have access to the FreeCAD command. If I just type FreeCAD and hit enter, it's going to start FreeCAD. And we're going to be using FreeCAD 19, the latest version. If I select from the workbench drop-down, I'll see that I have OSE Fastener available to me, and nothing too terribly interesting, but I'll notice there is a button that I can click just to add a simple box, so really basic, and it's just some boilerplate code, just enough to get us started. Thank you for watching this video. Please let me know if you had any questions or issues, and leave me some comments. I'll be sure to get back to you. In the next video, we're going to talk more about the directories and files included in the workbench, and get more familiar with the OSEWB CLI. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.